Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on the last two prompts of Junk Journal January, fabric and leather. And I have these two pieces of fabric that I wanted to use in this journal, and it took me a while to decide which one I wanted to use. I mean, I knew I wanted to use the blue one, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to incorporate the red one that has blue flowers. So I wanted to do a fabric flip because I've never done a fabric flip in any of my journals. So this is a first time for me. And I wasn't really sure how to go about it because the piece of fabric, it's kind of small, so it cannot be a whole page fabric flip, but I really like the end result. So I started by using my stencil that I've used throughout this journal. This stencil kind of links the whole journal together because there are several pages that have the same pattern, and I really like that the journal has kind of a theme. Although every page is very different, there is something that connects all the pages. And I decided to do a frame using letter ephemera papers that I have. So I'm selecting which ones to use. I have 2 packs of ephemera that have some letters in them, and I'm gonna cover most of the stenciling with this, but that's okay. You can still see the stenciling at the end. So tearing some strips to create a frame around my page. And I'm using one edge of the paper so that it's easier for me to glue them. You'll see how I'm gonna glue them with the straight edge facing the edge of the page, so then I don't have to worry about trimming all the edges. I wanted to make my life easy for this prompt. So this is one way to incorporate the prompt letter, is by using ephemera that it's letters, all letters, or anything that could be mail related. I thought about even using some postcards. I have postcards that are actual ephemera, like I've bought them in a thrift store. They belonged to someone else and they are actual ephemera. So, and those are written, the postcards are written, like, you know, when you send a postcard to someone. So that could have also been a good way to use letter, but that, you know, a postcard and a letter are technically different things, but they both convey a message. There are both ways to communicate via mail. And I don't know, if you didn't have any letter, you could have used a postcard. And you could have used the prompt letter as just letters from the alphabet. Why not? So here I'm finishing up this frame. I've done frames like this before, not always successful. If you watch my junk journal July 2024, there is one of the prompts that I also do a frame that I don't like, but this one I ended up liking it a lot. I made sure to tear the paper evenly, kind of. All the strips are very similar in width, and that kind of helped to make the whole frame to look more cohesive, and just using neutral colors help with that as well. My kid is playing. If you hear something in the background, that's him. And then I went ahead and added some postal stamps here. Those lines. This is a stamp that I use often in my journals and to make ephemera. And now I'm gonna use a butterfly stamp that I haven't used before, so that's new. Sometimes when this silicone stamps are new, they are hard to stamp. So I think that's what happened here, but that's okay. I didn't necessarily want full impression, so it's okay if it's just a partial impression of the stamp. And then with this one, I had a lot of trouble because I couldn't see what's the orientation. It's the Eiffel Tower with some postal lines on top, and I can barely see it, and it's all in the wrong orientation, but that's also okay. So then I decided to write a letter to myself that's gonna be covered by the fabric flip. So fabric flips in your journals can be used to hide some journaling. So that's basically what I'm gonna do here. And I'm writing a letter to myself in Spanish. And I'm basically sending myself a message to remember this time in my life when I've been creating in my junk journal journey and to keep creativity alive. I think the last thing I write is remember to keep creativity alive. And I sign it. And I'm gonna date so that I know when I wrote this. So I wrote this yesterday. It's when I made this page. I really like that I wrote a message for me. There is the previous prompt sealed. I also wrote a message for myself and I seal it in an envelope. You're gonna see that when I do the final flip through of this journal. I'll show you all the prompts that I didn't make videos for. And I also wrote another message for me in that one. I like that idea of leaving notes for future me if I ever go through these journals again. Maybe I will. So then I added those two flower stickers that I think brought everything together. I really love them. And they are purple. And this fabric, it's kind of a purplish blue. So I think they go together very well. So I added art glitter glue to glue the fabric flip. And that's how it's gonna be. And then I'm gonna add some washi tape that it's also kind of a letter washi tape that has some postage stamps kind of thing. I did add some glue stick to the washi tape so it can hold it together. I'm not adding the washi tape to glue my fabric. It's mostly for decoration. And now it's time for the final touches. So I'm gonna stamp 30 and 31 for the last 2 days of January. I cannot believe we're done with Junk Journal January. This has been very fun. It's very difficult for me to keep creating when it's such a horrible weather and so many things happening in the last couple of weeks. But having a challenge like this keeps me in the creative mode so I can relax when I do these things. So now I'm checking my prompts there, and here's the final page. I love how this one turned out. And stay tuned and come back for the final flip through that I'll post on Monday, February 3rd. I hope to see you there too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time soon. Bye!